I think this season taught our players so many different things, and in particular the way that those guys prepared for that last game and the mentality they had going into the last game.
I think the more you play, the more you just kind of see things and things just kind of start coming to you, and I feel like I felt that the last 7 games of the season. Those were really big for me.
I felt like I had a purpose, but I didn't know what my purpose was, and I feel like he gave me a purpose.
I would say kind of defining moment would have to be something that happened later in the year, maybe the midway point.
Who wouldn't want another year in this defense? Like, honestly.
And our players did everything we asked them to do, and they did it in a fantastic, dedicated manner.
We understood that we needed to show up and play and to prepare the way we should.
This was going to be really the start of the 2025 season. Our football team had tremendous preparation leading into the New Mexico Bowl. The biggest thing we talked to our players about over and over and over again was this was an opportunity for us to take the next step as a program, win a bowl game, get a 9th win.
This game is 2 things. For our seniors and our guys that are moving on, this is their last game as a TCU Horned Frog. Okay, for everybody else, this is the first game of next season.
We talked to the players a lot about this was going to be really the start of the 2025 season. You have an opportunity, you have 15 practices to try to get better, almost an entire spring football. And our guys had a great mentality.
I think the bowl game was just a challenge to continue getting better. It's always fun to extend your season, and when you play a team like the team we played, sometimes guys can take the immature look at it and see that they're not a Power 4 team, and I don't think we did that. I think we understood that they're a good football team, and there's a lot of good teams that aren't Power 4 teams, and so we understood that we needed to show up and play and to prepare the way we should in order to win the game. And so I think our program took a step in the right direction.
We could have had many guys sit out. We lost some key parts, but we also had guys that stepped up, like Eric McAllister. We even had Parker Clark in there, so it was pretty cool. I felt like I had a purpose, but I didn't know what my purpose was, and I feel like he gave me a purpose. So having him kind of gave me a reason to actually love football again, enjoy what I do. Like waking up at 5 in the morning, it sounds like it sucks to everybody else, but I love it, honestly.
So I think this season taught our players so many different things, and in particular the way that those guys prepared for that last game and the mentality they had going into the last game. I think it really set us up for 2025.
A lot of these guys that are leaving out were all here whenever I came in as a early enrollee freshman in the winter of 2022. I've had relationships with a lot of these guys for 2 or 3 years now, and I can't say enough about the way that they embraced me and brought me in. Kind of showed me the way, showed me how to be a college football player, how to do it the right way, and so I'm so thankful for those guys. And because of the stuff that we laid down here, that we went through, the guys are gonna be successful for the rest of their life, no matter what they do.
Man, those my boys, like Abe, Savion, Jack, JP, all them boys, they helped me, like Savion, like we've been together since my freshman year, even Abe. But having them boys just helped me grow. Like even when I felt like I ain't had nobody, I had them.
I could say great things about all those guys. Jack, I'll start with Jack. I mean, anything that a quarterback would want, that's Jack. He knows where to be at all times. He knows where you want him to be. It's almost like he has the mind of a quarterback playing receiver. And so that's a special character trait that he has. And, Savion's just a freak athlete, makes me look way better than I was, and just a stud all around. And then JP was just a gritty, route runner guy. Anytime it was a critical moment, that's you could go to him. And then Blake was just reliable. That's the word I have for him. He's just a great guy, reliable guy, knew where to be, and a heck of a player.
Yeah, anytime you have a senior class, particularly your 3rd year, you want to send those guys out. And there had been a number of players that had been here for a long time, had been through the highs of the 22 season, the lows of the 23 season. So we really wanted to wrap up the 24 season the right way and send those guys out with a victory. Was really proud of the preparation and maturity of those guys and the leadership they provided for us, during this season. Had they not had a great mentality, we were at 3-3 one point, and they had to have a lot of toughness mentally. There was a lot of criticism outside of this building about our program and what was going on, and those guys ignored it all, kept showing up, had a great mentality, dedicated manner. And so we were able to turn the season around, win 6 of the last 7 games, go win the bowl game. And again, none of that would have happened without that leadership from those guys that had been in this program for a while. So I was really proud of everything that they provided to us. And again, our young guys wanted to send those seniors out with a win. It meant a lot to them. And when you have players that care that much about their teammates, usually good things happen.
I would say kind of defining moment would have to be something that happened later in the year, maybe the midway point. I think the Utah win was big for us.
What's going on, guys? I just want to come up here and say, like, something I think we've been struggling with is just being, like, motivated. Like, we work so hard, we do so many right things, but then we get to the games and sometimes we're starting slow. Before bed, I always like to watch TV, right? Chill out, zen out. And unfortunately, that didn't happen this week. I was watching this TV show, and it started talking about Alexander the Great and him taking over the Persian Empire. And when he got there, his whole army, he burnt every single boat once they showed up. And to me, I didn't really know why he was doing that. He was going to Persia. They had like the biggest army, the baddest army anyone had ever heard of, animals no one had ever seen. And I was thinking a couple hours go by, and then it just kind of dawned on me, he was going there, and he told those guys they're going to win or they're going to die trying. They're going to win or they're going to die trying. There ain't no going back.
That time, Utah was still a conference favorite. Going on the road and beating Utah and going to get a win, that was big for our program. I think that kind of propelled us the rest of the season, and we won, I think, 6 out of our last 7. I think that kind of turned it around for us.
When I got the pick against Arizona, it was within 6 to 10 seconds.
Looking to go to the air. First play of the game, an interception. Bud Clark.
I feel like that was a game setter. Like, I had my friends in the stands, had my girlfriend in the stands, my son, like my family. So it was pretty. Like that's what I needed. It was the energy, and I feel like I knew I was gonna do something, just didn't know what. I felt the energy going up into the game.
We had a 3 or 4 game run in the middle of the season where we did not play well, and so we're sitting here at 3-3. We had an open date. We felt like we really needed to present our players with a plan, to kind of get us out of that rut and to get us playing to our potential. We presented the plan to our players. The guys bought in 100%. They jumped in. They did everything we asked them to do for the remainder of the season. And I think that's the thing I'll always remember about this team was, when it got more difficult, these guys, instead of panicking, blaming people, they looked in the mirror, they became more focused, they became more attentive to the little things. They rolled their sleeves up and they went to work every single day.
Who wouldn't want another year in this defense? Like, honestly, Avalos and the defensive staff, period, they helped me grow in different ways because, it's cool to play football, but it's one thing to know it. And I feel like they helped me know football. Having them boys helped me grow in football, like as a father, as a football player, but it's just different ways just knowing football.
Yeah, there's a couple things I want to get better at. Just being a better leader and teammate. I think that's something you're always striving for. With the new age in college football, it's always a new group coming in, so you have to really be intentional about meeting the new guys and understanding where they come from, who they are, what they're all about, so that you can push them and they can do the same for you. On the field, I think just continuing to mature as a quarterback and understanding, when to make certain decisions. I think the more you play, the more you just kind of see things and things just kind of start coming to you, and I feel like I felt that the last 7 games of the season. Those were really big for me. Continue to extend plays, and I feel like I can do a better job using my legs and just knowing when to take off and keep the defense a little bit more honest. I feel like I really started to see different things that kind of helped me mature, and so I'm looking forward to carrying that on this offseason, working on that this offseason in spring ball and in the film room to propel us into next season.
Yeah, there's been a lot of parity right now in the Big 12. I think there's probably 6 teams right now that legitimately think that they have a chance to be the top dog in the Big 12 year in, year out. We certainly feel like we're one of those teams, and there's 5 or 6 others that feel the same way.
Every single week you have to show up and play well or you're going to get beat. And I don't think there's many conferences around the country that can say that about every team you play. If you look at the stat sheet across all the Big 12 games, you can't make any sense out of it. It's just all about who shows up and plays good that day, and that's something that we fully understand. So I don't think there's any drop off in our league with that, leaving, teams coming. I think it's as competitive as it's ever been, and so that's something I love about the Big 12 is just a competitive league.
You know, we want to be a team that year in, year out is in the Big 12 championship game. If you do that, then you're going to have an opportunity to compete for a college football playoff. We haven't been in the last 2 seasons. We want to get back. We feel like that's where we want to be as a program and need to be as a program. And so our players have worked incredibly hard to give us that opportunity.
I feel like this year is anybody's game, honestly. It could be us, it could be anybody, really. But why not us?